Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy Evan. Welcome to the cartoon block. Today I'm going to show you guys one of the most requested characters I've gotten, the Legend of Korra. Get back here in a few seconds and we'll get started.
We'll begin by using the Prismacolor Cool Erase Blue Pencil. Now let's get started, guys. So we're going to go ahead and begin by drawing a circle, and just a regular circle, doesn't have to be perfect. Then we're going to put the center line in there, going down the right side of the sphere. And then next we're going to indicate the eye line by cutting that ball in half. And I'm going to lightly put in her jawline down below the ball. And at the bottom of that ball, draw the nose guideline. And then below that, draw the mouth guideline. And next, we'll lightly sketch in her neck and a little bit of her shoulders. I'm not quite sure what pose I want her in, so we'll come back to her pose later. For the eyes, let's place two ovals directly on the eye line. And moving down to her nose, simply put in a curve for her bridge. And for the eyes, we're going to go ahead and start putting in a diamond shape, or almost almond diamond shape, to get the outline of her eyes. And put it in lightly, because the eyes are almost like you want to sculpt the eyes. And the irises are pretty big, as in the style of the Avatar characters. Mostly the cute characters or some of the female characters have big eyes, and Korra is the one, she's the star of the show, so she has pretty big irises. And then we put in the shine and of course the pupils. Her eyebrows are relatively simple. I'm going to give her this kind of determined look, like a hero should have, like she means serious business. And just drawing this, her facial expression right now kind of reminds me of the Riley drawing I did from Boondocks. Now moving on to my HB pencil, I'm going to now darken in all the lines that I do like, and change up whatever lines I don't like. And I looked at plenty of reference for her, so keep in mind, look at reference photographs of whatever character you're drawing to get the likeness down. And tweaking the eyebrows here slightly. I'm going to angle her eyebrows a little bit more to make her look meaner or angrier, and put a small wrinkle in her skin right there. Her nose is just two holes, simply two slits. And then her mouth just below, gonna have kind of like a open mouth expression, nothing too extravagant. Korra's facial features are very simple. You want to keep in mind, for female characters, you want them to have a natural beauty. So you don't want to treat them like male characters and put too much muscle definition or rendering on their faces. They still have to be pretty, okay? even though she is a tough character. So darkening in her facial lines, the contour of her face, and her hair is kind of like a mini afro. Just putting it down here. Look at plenty of reference photographs and images for her hairstyle. She has this part over here on her left side of her head, and gonna tweak her little afro here and curve it and get this down just right. Take your time with it. And then her part, she has a little small strand of hair that kind of comes down in between her eyebrows, and that adds to her expression as well. I'm gonna darken this in until I like it. It's almost like a Superman S curve, you know. He's known for having that curve in the middle of his forehead. So Korra has the same thing almost. Although hers is cooler. Hers isn't corny like Soup's is. So I'm going to erase a lot of my construction lines and sketchy lines so I can kind of see my drawing come to life here. And now for her two, I guess, pigtail kind of hair she has on the side. They're not braids, but they're pigtails. And then she has this kind of barrette ornament to that holds her pigtails, and it's kind of bulky at the top of that hair ornament. So make sure you make that part kind of a little bit thicker. And I'll continue that on the other side over here and get it down. I'm going to use my electric eraser to kind of tweak her eyes somewhat. I'm not happy. I think I made the irises too big, so I'm going to shrink them down somewhat and get the shine, tweak that one, and just clean up her eye lines a little bit more. Just darken them in. And then put in her ear detail. Simply look at your own ear to just copy, it. And her hair ornament at the top. So get that in there. And it sticks out almost like a horn. And then kind of just lightly sketch in the flow of her top pigtail. And I like how her hair gives her the illusion of motion when it moves. And going back down to her neck area that we lightly put in earlier, it's just a big cylinder. Nothing complex about it at all. And now we can put in the center line and the curvature of her neck, so we can then begin dressing her, putting her costume down here. And for her body, we can go ahead and put in circles for her shoulders and one big circle for her chest and torso area. For poses, I like to look in this book that I have. It's called Real Action Pose Collection. I have no idea what the title, and because it's all in Japanese writing, but it's a great book that I picked up at a bookstore here in Los Angeles called Kunikaniya Bookstore. So hopefully you guys can find this online, and it's a great resource for tons of action poses showing guys fighting in motion, and it shows how the muscles work and what their definition is. It's something that I go to quite frequently when I'm lost on what poses to give my characters. Now we can go back and put in the permanent lines that we are sure that we want to keep in the drawing. And I'm putting in a few lines to represent her costume. A few details here. I'm going to adjust her neck slightly and put in her clavicle bones and start going down to her breast area. She's not a big chested woman, so don't get carried away, guys, by drawing big boobs on Korra. Just draw a few lines on her chest. Now I'm going to place some paper over her face so I can begin drawing her fist. I asked my daughter Sabrina to pose her hand for me so I can get good reference on how the knuckles and the bones and the fingers look. Ask your family and your friends to pose for you. It's always best to learn to draw from life. After you draw enough people, places, and things, animals, or whatever, then your own drawing style will emerge from that. So once I looked at my daughter's hand, I drew the fist that I wanted. Now I can go back in and tweak it. Moving on, I then needed reference for Korra's muscles and her arm and shoulder area. So I asked my son to pose for me. He's been working out a lot recently, and he likes to show off his body. You should always feel free to get your reference from anywhere. Luckily, I have teen children who can pose for me, but if you don't have that kind of thing, look at Google Images, magazines, bodybuilding, muscle magazines, Victoria's Secret catalogs if you want to learn how to draw women. And I can't stress this enough. It is very important that you guys take a figure drawing class. If you want to improve your drawings a lot in a relatively short period of time, figure drawing classes will teach you how to draw fast and how to draw the important stuff first. Now I'm going to tweak her eye a little bit more and erase some of my construction lines, because the next step is placing the shadow on her face, and this will help your drawing pop more off the page. Putting shadow on your drawings will give more contrast, meaning that you have a definite light source like we have here on the left side of her face and a shadow side on the right side. Having that definite light and dark contrasting against each other will help your drawings just come more alive to the viewer. To get a good idea of where I want the shadow to be on her body, I simply used my Green Lantern toy right here and held it up to the light to get good shadow reference. And once again, I asked my daughter to hold up her hand so I could get some good reference for Korra's open palmed hand. Now I hope you guys understand the importance of using reference for your drawings. You see me use a combination of photographs, live models, and even toys to get posing, muscle structure, and shadow placement. And we're just about done putting in her shadow, and there you have it, guys. The Legend of Korra. I hope you guys learned something, and thanks for watching.
Hey guys, it's Sabrina, ready for a drawing contest? Here's what you have to do. Follow these 2 simple steps. And step 3, draw Korra battling Sakura. And time for the prizes. Santa came early this year. Be sure to follow all these rules, you guys. Don't forget, the deadline is Saturday, December 22nd. Good luck.